Question number 166. A virus which is usually not transferred through the semen of an infected male and requires an intermediate host is, and the options are hepatitis B virus, HIV, Ebola virus, chikungunya virus. And the correct answer to this question is option number 4, chikungunya virus, that requires an intermediate host, that is mosquito, and is usually not transferred through the semen of an infected male. That means it is not a sexually transmitted infection. On the other hand, hepatitis B virus, HIV and Ebola virus are incorrect option, as these are transferred through the semen of an infected male and causes sexually transmitted infections or STIs. So the correct answer to this question is option number 4. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 167. Linking a gene of interest from an organism with the plasmid vector became possible with, and the options are exonucleases, DNA ligases, endonuclease, DNA polymerase. The correct answer to this question is option number 2. DNA ligases, which are commonly considered as molecular glue, are used for linking a gene of interest from an organism with the plasmid vector. Let's discuss rest of the options. The next option is exonucleases and endonucleases, and these are the incorrect options, as restriction endonucleases act as molecular scissors, but DNA ligases help in linking foreign DNA to plasmids. So these are the incorrect option. Exonucleases are also used to digest DNA, and the last option is DNA polymerase, and this is an incorrect option because DNA polymerases catalyze polymerization of a DNA strand. So the correct answer is option number 2. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 168. A genetically modified brinjal in India was developed with an insert of Cry1AB gene. This was done to develop resistance to, and the options are low mineral content of soil, drought and disease, insects, softening of fruit. And the correct answer is option number 3, insects. Genetically modified brinjal is Bt brinjal with Cry gene for the production of Bt toxin. It has been developed for insect resistance. So the correct answer is 3. Cry1AB gene encodes for protein that provides resistance against corn borer. Let's discuss rest of the options. The very first option is low mineral content of soil is an incorrect option. Second option, drought and disease, is also an incorrect option. And the last option, softening of fruit, is an incorrect option. And the correct answer to this question is option number 3. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 169. The Achilles tendon, which is a tough fiber connecting calf muscle to heel bone, is an example of, and the options are dense regular connective tissue, dense irregular connective tissue, loose connective tissue, and the last option is specialized connective tissue. Now tendon is an example of dense regular connective tissue, so the correct answer is option number 1. White fibrous tissue primarily forms tendons and ligaments. The arrangement of fibers show a compact and regular pattern in them. So the correct answer is option number 1. Next option is dense irregular connective tissue, and this is an incorrect option because dermis of skin is the example of dense irregular connective tissue. The next option is loose connective tissue, and this is an incorrect option. Areolar tissue is an example of loose connective tissue, and the last option is specialized connective tissue, and this is an incorrect option. Blood, bone and cartilage are specialized connective tissues. So the correct answer to this question is option number 1. Let's move on to the next question, which is question number 170. A competitive inhibitor of succinic dehydrogenase is dash, which shows close structural similarity to the substrate succinate and competes for the binding site of enzyme. Choose an option which fills the blank correctly, and the options given are palmitic acid, malonate, PABA and alpha-ketoglutarate, and the correct answer to this question is option number 2, malonate. As you can see here, this is succinate, which in presence of succinate dehydrogenase form fumarate, and malonate is a competitive inhibitor of this enzyme succinate dehydrogenase due to structural similarity with the substrate succinate. So the correct answer is option number 2. Let's discuss rest of the options. The very first option is palmitic acid, and this is an incorrect option. The next option is PABA and alpha-glutarate. These are also an incorrect option, and the correct answer to this question is option number 2. Let's move on to the next question.